Tonight, remembering former Congressman Vern Ehlers. He passed away at the age of 83.
In his 17-year tenure, he represented much of West Michigan, including Grand Rapids. 24-hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin looks back at Ehlers' legacy.
Vern Ehlers was a constant figure in West Michigan and national politics for decades. From the Kent County Board of Commissioners to the Michigan State House and Senate to the U.S. House of Representatives. Vern was someone that voters repeatedly chose to represent them on numerous fronts. His background as a nuclear physicist and college professor carried over into his public service, using his knowledge and teaching skills to explain complex issues to those he represented. While in Congress, he chaired the STEM Education Caucus, then an idea that was new to many, now a plan that is being championed in most educational arenas to increase learning in science, technology, engineering, and math. Ehlers' efforts to get a more equitable share of transportation funding back to Michigan was a mainstay of his tenure in Washington. As a reminder, the new train terminal in Grand Rapids was named for the former congressman in 2014. Another of Ehlers' passions was taking care of the Great Lakes, from making sure the water stayed pure to making sure it stayed here, rather than being shipped to parched southwestern states. And even then, now more than 7 years ago, when we talked with him on To the Point, Congressman Ehlers had already been fighting the issue of Asian carp for years. The normally mild-mannered Ehlers was animated when fighting to keep money in the budget to take care of the carp issue, and voiced his displeasure when one Corps of Engineers official had temporarily omitted the funds.
Especially government employees. But that was nonsense. Now, that was about 7 years ago, and very little has happened. I keep beating on it, on this issue. My colleagues have helped me a lot, and now they're behind me 500%. They're just really eager to stop the carp, but it should have happened long ago.
Lesser known, perhaps, was Congressman Ehlers' involvement in bringing the U.S. House into the information age, working on the House Administration Committee to bring the internet to Capitol Hill offices, and helping create a website for the Library of Congress that allows anyone to look up legislation that Congress is working on. Ehlers retired in 2011 after 17 years in the House. He passed away Tuesday at age 83.
Certainly a well-read scholar and an accomplished lawmaker, there was another side of Vernon Ehlers. Tonight on The 7, we talked with the man in charge of writing his jokes, one of the many who knew him simply as Vern. While Vern Ehlers read up on upcoming legislation, met with voters and fellow lawmakers, there was one man by his side for more than 8 years.
Before I actually took the job, I didn't know the physicist side of him.
Chris Barbie served as Ehlers' press secretary for nearly a decade, and as if working for a congressman isn't intimidating enough, try working for one with a background as a nuclear physicist and college professor.
I'm a communications major. What am I going to have in common with a physicist? But the thing about Vern is, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, the guy had a great sense of humor. Great sense of humor. In fact, I was in charge in D.C. of his joke file, so that he could have good jokes for his speeches. And that was the human side of Vern, that, he could give you every chemistry, equation in the book, but he could also laugh and have a good time.
There's no arguing Ehlers' impressive resume, serving on the Kent County Board of Commissioners, in Michigan's House and State Senate. But Barbie and so many others lost more than a colleague this week. They lost an outstanding statesman who was also a friend.
Vern treated everyone on his staff as family, and that's the thing that I carry with me, 15 years after I worked with him.
There will be a celebration of Vern's life next Thursday, August 24th at Eastern Avenue Christian Reformed Church in Grand Rapids. There'll also be 2 days for visitation next Tuesday and Wednesday from 7 to 9 and 4 to 6. If you'd like to make a memorial contribution, we have that information up as well on woodtv.com and on our mobile app. We have a lot more about the career and legacy of Vern Ehlers, along with reaction from state and local lawmakers, also on our website and mobile app.